Welcome to the second day of the conference. Today we have our second keynote speaker. So just expect the tradition sentences. So he's the director of Başarım Gün. He served in all of the organization of more than 300 conferences, more than 500 invited talks, more than 700 papers, and he received many prestigious awards, including 2015 Simon Gray and 2017 Charles Babbage Award. I think there is not much to say anything else, so the stage is yours. Thank you.
Is the microphone?
Yes.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. Let me start saying that I am very happy to be here, and I would like to thank Mehmet, because he and Tulita were always with us in the good moment and the bad moment. So thank you very much. You were very important. I think you will be important for business in the future. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. So when I prepared this talk, I thought just to talk about a few topics related by a few topics to give an idea of where we are in Europe, where we are in our leadership. Okay, taking the technical things to those material people. And then I will ask them the next session and be very strong. So I will summarize what the supercomputers are. The Barcelona Supercomputing Center, the future will be open. This is very important thing. Europe and HPC influencing how BS influence the European Commission with the EuroCC, with the CHIP Act, and many other actions. The research need to enrich at the BSC, LOCA is the laboratory for open computer architecture, the RISC-V ecosystem, the 3B for HPC, the 3B from Barcelona is Barcelona Build and not Buy. We are going to organize a conference at the end of June. You are invited. I will give you some information. My dream, the topic I am spending more time now, is for the Mare Nostrum 6. We are going to start installing the Mare Nostrum 5 at the end of the year and the next year. I am thinking the Mare Nostrum 6. I will give you some ideas about that. The Mare Nostrum should be installed in 2027, more or less. And then the hiring at BSC, we need plenty of people, probably more than 300 people in 1 year, 1 year and a half. I'm concluding. So, please stop me at any time, ask me at any time you like. So, this is the guilty of the IT, okay? Transistor, I don't need to say anything. 47. In 71, I was studying in Madrid. I am telecommunication engineer. I'm the first microprocessor at Villa, 25 years. The first microprocessor. I was working with him. I was building more some peripheral. Okay, and you know all these details. Okay, number of transistor technology in 50 more years. I mean, 75 years since the transistor were invented. We had plenty of chips. I am talking about the supercomputer. As this is just an example of IBM. IBM was pioneering putting more than one chip in one processor, one core, one chip. Okay, so now they have the Power 9 and ready the Power 10. Even my impression is probably that the Power 11 will not show up. Okay, it's very difficult to continue developing chips, a very expensive project. So probably for the servers, but it's very costly. We were collaborating with IBM since '98 in many of the designs. So we were building general purpose chips, where the processor is a general purpose processor, and then accelerator. And we had many different kinds of accelerator. This is probably the most famous, the NVIDIA. Okay, so this is the Ampere, and you can see impressive number from how we passed from one transistor in 75 years, or from 2,300 transistors in 71 with the first microprocessor to having 54 billion working at 2 gigahertz. Okay, in a little more than 8 square centimeters. It's a lot. And then you have the speed and all the computation we can do. I don't know our famous Osman BPU, how many of these different data you can manage. I know that you are having different kind of okay. So I advanced that the mid processor has a systolic array of tensor core coming from 2BTAC. So together we can compete against NVIDIA. This is my target in 5 years. Okay, when the technology arrives to the end, just the ideas will conquer the world and the software. What I think. I am not going to tell you anything about that, just that the life continues, and then they announce the next one, the Hopper, the Hopper is there. Sorry, I cannot. There is not a pointer. Oh, there is not a pointer. I cannot. But listen here. Okay, so you have the Ampere 9.7 teraflops in 64 bits. If you look, the Hopper is 30 teraflops. It's incredible. And you can compare. You will get a copy. I will give a copy. You will get a copy of the presentation. So, and then listen, too many different operations for AI with a small number of bits. 32 bits. Many of the HPC applications do not need 64 bits. Climate change, weather prediction, they use normally 32 bits. So they take advantage of that, increasing the number of operations per second. Okay. So, okay. So how the supercomputer are built? Very simple. So this is a real supercomputer. It was number 1 in 2 years. Now it's number 2. Okay. So you take chips, and the one I showed you, the Power 9, with the Volta. The Volta is the previous to the Ampere, 7 teraflops. So they pass in 2 generations from 7 to 30. It's a lot, no? And then you put 2 of these Power 9 general purpose chips with the 4 Volta, 6 in this case, because we had them. And then you produce a board, okay? And you connect many of these boards through optical fiber cables, and you connect many of these boards, okay? Using InfiniBand, whatever. Okay. And then at the end you have this computer that, as I said, was the number one in the world with 4,600 nodes. Okay, it's a reasonable number of nodes. From the Marenstrom one, we had more than 2,000. In the Marenstrom one, when we started in 2004, it was the biggest network in the world, and they have again has serious problem. More than 2,000 connections. It was the first time. That, okay, and then I am not going to give you. So this is just to tell you how we build supercomputer. Okay, they are classified twice per year. So how they are ranked? Very simple. They need to solve a very simple algorithms to solve a linear system of equations. So they do triangular, they decompose the matrix into triangular index of the system, and the speed to where they are running the program classify the computer. Okay? So you will see in the first row is the faster now is a computer from Japan. Based on the R processor, the computer has not accelerated. So they demonstrate that you can operate this was one of the reasons why we are trying to buy R, in order to kill this line of research. My impression is that the Japanese say, no, the Japanese will continue developing R for supercomputers. This is my personal opinion, because they cannot change every generation. Okay. And then important for that is the power is almost 30 megawatts. 30 megawatts in Spain now is around 40 million euros per year. And technically, 30 megawatts is just, if you have 33 of this computer, you get a nuclear plant. It's a 1 gigawatt. And then you will see that the second in the submit, the one we were describing, okay, and Sierra it was from IBM also were number 1 and number 2, and you can find different. I am not going to tell you more about supercomputer. This is how the speed evolved in the years. You add the LIMPAC. The LIMPAC is the test, okay? In order to classify for the top 300. If you look, it's 21, 22, doesn't matter. You have the red line is the speed of the individual supercomputer. So realize that the Fugaku, the number 1, has 20% of the power of the next 499. Just one. So yeah, if you add the first 10, you get, I mean, 75% of the table. Okay. And we have more information. This is the latest one. In order to be in the lead, you need 1 petabyte machine. Okay. So when we start classifying supercomputer, was the thinking machine. Okay. We have a small thinking machine at BSc because I will tell you when I start the research on parallel computer. Okay. So it was nothing. Thinking machine. So my laptop is more or less this speed, but I put the next one. Okay. So any of this laptop would have been the faster computer 25 years ago. Okay. And this one probably 15 years ago. The next one is incredible how Apple this new chip connecting 2 of them. It's not meant to be this. So just to see how fast we can be, even for laptop or supercomputer. Okay? So, I mean, the supercomputer are the faster computer in the world. They run software. They are general purpose instrument. So depending on the software they are running, they can be a microscope, a telescope, whatever. And we use them. I use this slide, probably the figure from Trace, but they produce this one in order to evangelize in Brussels to these guys 4 or 5 years old. So I mean, I will describe the topics, the main topics we are working on Barcelona, personalized medicine, climate change, whatever. And let me tell you that now the AI is a big component of the supercomputing center. Okay. In fact, the Americans changed the program they have. It's called supercomputing. It's called now AI, where the supercomputer is a instrument that they need to develop AI. Okay, so they have so in the current supercomputer center, we have a lot of computation power. We have a lot of data, a lot of programs, and some of these programs can be pushed by using artificial intelligence. And another time, I can give you some example that artificial intelligence replaces the previous computation. In fact, it's the topic where ES is growing more with the chip design. I have around 80 people working in AI and some kind of AI and supercomputing. So this is a brief introduction to supercomputer. The Barcelona Supercomputing Center is the Spanish National Center. It was created in 2004, officially 2005, but this was the continuation. I created the first Spanish Center on Supercomputing in 1984. In 1984, I started a group and doing research in computer architecture for one processor and for many at once. So we bought 64 transmitter machine. It was an European. And 20 years after that, growing step by step, slowly in university, we were promoted to be the Spanish National Lab. The most important thing is that it's a place where the institution collaborate. So in 1984, I was able to convince to the Spanish ministry, the Catalan government, the Spanish government, the Catalan government, and my university. I did my studies in Madrid, I entered in SSC, and I moved to Barcelona, to the Technical University of Catalonia. Okay, so I convinced to join effort, to devote resources to this topic. In 1984, nobody small. So we have a computer, so we need to provide service for free to many people. I will let you know later. So, but I mean, Sergi will say, oh, the computer is very important. For me, the computer is very important, but the most important thing is the people doing research. Okay, so we have 4 departments: computer science, life science, earth science, and engineering. Okay. As we are at the university, okay, so these guys are the partners, okay? So they have been the partners since 1984, and they continue. And the most important thing that's very difficult in our Mediterranean countries, especially in Spain, it's very difficult that this government signed an agreement until 2029. 2029, we have the money, out of money. So this is very good because that will keep peace. That will give the opportunity to negotiate with anybody, okay? Because if you like to get every 4 or 5 years, it's very difficult, depending on the politics and you know the political situation in Catalonia, okay? So sometimes I say that this is the only topic where the Spanish government agree in the supercomputer, okay? So we have a PhD program, some years Osman best. Graduate more than 30 PhD. Yeah. We are growing because we do technology transfer. We are some kind small size of mass plan with people publishing the best idea, but from home without the companies that we do not exist. And it's very important the public engagement. We many activities to attract the society, to see what we do with the money they give us. So this is very important. This is the building. This is the place where until a few years ago, we played the best soccer in the world. Now we are not in the Barcelona Soccer Stadium. Yeah, okay. So this is the building. The building is a new one, 12,000 square meters, and then but just for 520 people. Okay. This is the campus of the EuroCC to the right. Okay. And here is the important place, a chapel connected to the building. It's a chapel. Okay. Oh, nice. This is the place where the supercomputer is. It's a chapel. We desacralized the chapel in before. The main reason why, when I was in a conference in the ISCA, in the conference in Munich, and I received a call from the president and said, Matteo, you don't mind if we put the computer in the chapel? Okay, are you serious? They say yes. So we did that. The main reason, I would say that the main reason is that we didn't have any available space to manage it. And the guys from ABS signed a very strong contract saying the Milestone 4, as it was the Milestone 1, and this was the first commodity supercomputer, was the first supercomputer in the world having the power PC as a, and then Linux. The people don't have don't put Linux. So this is the reason we didn't have Spain. The real reason is that the president at that time was communist. Okay, it was my very friend of mine. I said the best thing to use a chapel is to put there. So this is the so we have this is the current machine. It's almost 5 years old, Milestone 4, and we decided from the very beginning, instead of using the whole money just to buy a machine, instead of using the whole money to buy a machine with accelerator in order to be number 2, number 3 in the world, we decided to have different kind of system in order to accommodate the needs, the characteristics of the program to the hardware. So the Milestone 4 has 4 clusters. The biggest one is the Lenovo Intel Lenovo with all these rows under one. These are the disks, but the rows we have 3, 4, 5, 6 nodes. 3, 4, 5, 6. This is why I remember. And then we have small Sierra. It's not a submit because it has 2 power 9 plus 4 volta. And then we always buy future technology. So this time we bought the small Fujitsu. So we were very touched in 4 years with Fujitsu and Riken, working with them in the Fujitsu. And then we bought this AMD. AMD is fabricating very good accelerator in the 100, 200, 300. The 200 is the one who is going in the Aurora. In the capital, sorry. Aurora is in the capital, who will be 2, 3 exactly on the chip. Okay. So we are okay. Milestone 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. The one who was number 4 in the world was the first commodity. Okay. And listen, 42.3 teraflops. Remember the chip from NVIDIA? It's 30. So in nothing, we have the same power now that the whole chapel. It's incredible. So, as I say, we need to give service to the Spanish organization. So we propose to Spain to organize all the computers as a network, and we manage this network. It's la Red Española de Supercomputación. And then we propose also to Europe to create PRAISE. We have 6 faster supercomputers in Europe, providing free access to any research coming from anywhere in the world. The only thing that I need to do is just to pass an exam and evaluation. Demonstrating that your project is good, it's good enough to get the free access to the computer, okay. And obviously to my people, they have 10% of the time, but they are very smart. So they belong to PSC, belong to Spain, belong to Europe. So they are asking to any place, okay. So we were created to be 60 people. I received yesterday the last number. We are 810 people, 810. So we had 4 departments, as I say. The computer science department is almost 300 people and growing, mainly with the topic of the RISC-V hardware and software design, okay? And then you can see the different departments. There are 4 departments. So we are 6 departments. One is the one who provides services, director. The other one is management of the staff, and then 4 research departments. And you have the 4 research department. Total people how it was in December 31. And the most important thing, around 40% of our people are from more than 50 different countries. So we are the ONU at BSc, and I love that very much. Okay, everybody talk in English, and they are doing good things together. Concerning to the money, this is the 2021. So we received 9.2 million from our patrons for the electricity, 2.5. So I have 2 million from this money to hire people, but I hired these people many years ago. So the important thing is that in competitive, in competition with many others, we got 38 million last year. You see how much from the European Commission is very difficult to get money. 7, 8 projects are accepted. Okay. And from companies, and with companies as IBM, so we were allowed with many companies. Yeah. And from in competition, but in Spain, there are projects called for project, and we are ready for that. So this is the main reason we are growing. This is bad. This is bad because we have a huge structure, but without base. There are just 12 civil servants. I am professor, full professor since '83. So with Jesus, we are 12 people. The rest of the people, if we don't get money, they have a problem. So my prediction is that we are going to cross 1,000 people very soon. Very soon. This is not good, but this is the real situation. Okay. The next topic is the future will be open. This is some kind of things that yes. Okay. So if you look how the structure, the software hardware of a supercomputer today, you will see that after the Linux, the software is more or less socialized. You can program, you can have a program, and this program can be run on many platforms. Okay. But when you go down to the hardware is proprietary. So when people talk about co-design, hardware software co-design, I say you cannot do a real co-design if you cannot influence the hardware. And this is the way that Osman and all the good people I have in software and hardware, 275 different computer science, getting application from the computers. The environment is good to do research that in other place would be a little difficult. Okay? So this is the real situation, okay? And this is bad. For example, now we are going to install a supercomputer, by the way. An important part of the next supercomputer belongs to you, to test this. We need to see how we take the best, the hardware, just it is very simple, putting the human people working together. Okay? So we need to advance in this direction, okay? So, I mean, when you buy the computer, you cannot choose anything. Now with the joint undertaking, nothing. just it should be bull. If you have a bull computer, even inside is nothing from Europe, it's okay. So listen, and this was the situation. And BSc, especially me, was promoting. I will promote the development of European. So we have the R processor, the R, who was the product of an European project, which was called ACORE. And then 13, 14 years ago, we predict that the R, the processor, will grow up, the speed will, and then will be competitive with the Intel, AMD, IBM very soon, okay? So the thing we did is to start 12 years ago building things at BSc, where the processors were R. From where we got the R? From Samsung, from the mobile. From the mobile you have in your hands or in your pocket. Yes, we and we developed different systems. The first one was working 11 years ago, and then at the end we built at BSc 2 racks with the Samsung Galaxy 4 At that time, this mobile chip had two general purpose ARM cores and a GPU is called Mali. And the idea was the hardware will be grow up, so let's go to develop the software stack in order to be ready. And then even more, I propose ARM full issue on the Commission to develop a very powerful vector architecture based on ARM. We say no, and they say no because the Japanese were doing that, and the Japanese were doing that, and they knew that SoftBank, a Japanese company, would buy ARM. So when the ARM was European, okay, a monoland, and then the ARM passed to Japan, and with 1 billion of euros plus years, they built the Fugaku. This is a period I would like to repeat in Europe. It's my dream office, where I have all my stuff. Probably I am very happy. So we saw the processor. We didn't have any processor in Europe. So should we have processor in Europe? This is a question. Okay. And I spent a lot of time. I said yes, for many reasons. I prepared this slide probably 6 years ago, 5 years ago, when with Huawei, with Google, or this thing appeared. I think you don't need the processor for many reasons. One of them is to be competitive. Suppose that for the future autonomous car, NVIDIA or another full guy, another Tran, the Tran version B, version 2, decided not to sell these NVIDIA chips to the, I mean, he destroyed all the European car manufacturers. So yes, I said yes. Very, very difficult. I say, you can start the GDPR, so ethical thing, but if you don't have technology to implement, what do you think about ethics? You will not succeed. So you need developing of technology. So, okay, so thanks to God, I say, you know, they were very, what the Linus Torvald did and so on, was trying to be repeating at the university. So after 3 or 4 universities didn't success, it was Goodman in Berkeley that proposed the RISC-V. Very simple. In the RISC-V, almost everybody, not everybody, I mean, Osman, I think we trying, I don't know if you influence a new instruction or not, you influence, I'm very proud of that. So, I mean, a group will decide the instruction set architecture of the processor, and this will be for all. You will be able to develop hardware that interpret, execute this instruction set architecture, and you don't need to pay. Okay, so this is a very good idea. The problem is the software. But the software, I have no doubt that there are many people in the world working software. There will be many projects developing software, and the software will not be a problem in 5 to 10 years for the general purpose. For the specific processor, we don't have problem. You need to just execute one program, 2 or 3 or 20 in the supercomputer. You don't have a problem. You can develop hardware. Okay. So this is a huge movement. The complexity, be careful because Intel decided not to increase the number of instructions during many years, and now they have more than 3,000. A serious problem that the pipeline of Intel has at the processor level is that they should be able to execute thousands of instructions. Now the RISC-V, I don't know, it probably increased something, 47, and you have the characteristics here as I said. So it's very good how RISC-V, the RISC-V community is evolving. It's incredible. I mean, because everybody likes to collaborate. I was invited 2 weeks ago to go with the second of Intel. He got come with me to meet Modi in India. India decided 2 weeks ago officially to invest a lot of money in RISC-V. So Patty Bersinger was there with Intel. everybody will do that. So I started 6 years ago predicating in Brussels with not with results that we should start working on this part. Okay? So the question is that we believe that BSC, this is 3 years old, that the future will be open. Okay? Having the possibility of developing open hardware will give us the possibility of having the whole stack from the application to the hardware be compatible. This is a very good space to collaborate. Okay? So we are here with the at BSC trying to co-design here. Because now we can. So, and then most important thing is 3 years ago, first of my good days with the commission was that we convinced Lucilla Scioli, who is the responsible for microelectronic embedded, that the Europe will adopt this open war for the future, and then we will see how that evolves. Okay, so this was very good. This was because us, as they say, because BSC. Okay, so the future will be open. I think that the RISC-V will conquer the world, and that will give us an opportunity to do things that until now were impossible. Mainly collaboration. European HPC, even we have praise, as I say, there are these computers that, I mean, for me, as important as the access to the computer is that it's training. Probably this is August 2020, because I take the slide. Probably this is all because, I mean, this number I think is 30,000, okay? So associated to the use of the computer, we have in several places, I think there are 6, 7 places in Europe, where we had the praise advanced training courses. You cannot have this computer if you don't train the young people to see how they optimize the software, how they optimize anything. It's very, very important. I love this part of the praise. Okay? Also, we have, so we have this center of excellence. Okay, so orthogonal things to the horizontal, to the supercomputer is that how we organize the people by topics, and we create a virtual center of excellence. We go to fusion or whatever, okay? So there are 15, so BSC coordinate the 4 and collaborating in 12. Use demonstration of that we are many. Okay, so the second supercomputing center is Julie having the coordination of just one. This is very important now. It was a core new center of excellence, and we are proposing something. So I am waiting for the next one in order and you should be with us to create a center of excellence in this open world, software and hardware. And the guys would know that. Say that when you look the software and the hardware stack in Europe, we are in a very bad situation. For example, we don't produce any CPU. Okay. We say that we have sun accelerator, but the color should be red also. Neuromorphic, we are very okay. Well, we were with Steve Farber, but now they are not European. They are European, but they don't. These guys are terrible. In quantum, we are developing something, but not a lot. We have some. And then, okay. So this is the real situation in Europe is that we would like to use supercomputer, but unfortunately, we need to buy, we are forced to buy all the computers. And we need to change that. We need to change that. So, so we try to continue influencing Europe. Okay, the question that you can lobby them. The question is that nobody of them knows anything about technical things. So they are very political. So now we have the commissioner experience, anything should be atoms by definition. And then the director general is Italian. Let's go to bring things to Bologna. Okay, this is the way they think. Okay? So nobody knows how a processor works, and they are controlling the stereo. So life is there. So I was predicating many times. This is Roberto Viola. So one of the time in Lisbon, 7 years ago, we had this huge meeting in Europe. Okay, and then we defended when I got the Seymour Cray. We need to develop hardware. Okay, listen. By a chance, 22 of October. Should be 27, but I don't know. 5 days later, this Juncker said that the current one is in law with the IT. So what happened as Europe? 5 countries, Spain included, promoting Spain. We created the EuroCC. There were 5 countries in Roma signing, and then there are many others. Turkey. So we are very honored to have Turkey. Okay? So everybody in Europe is in the EuroCC Plus. And the EuroCC initiative has 2 main targets. The first one is try to get very good computer for Europe. But the second one, the most important for me, is try to develop European technology. The second. So based on that, they have a small competition at the beginning for 2 computers. And as the politicians saw that Italy would not get anyone, so they say 3. Roberto Viola said 3, they took my money, they reduced the money for the other. Okay, this is Europe. And then we create a consortium with Turkey, Portugal, Croatia. We applied for that, and we got one of the 3 pre-ESA scale system. Okay, so thank you one more to Turkey. Okay, so that would be the characteristics. So now it was accepted finally 2 days ago after when they know that the European Commission didn't do correctly. So they tried by force to give the machine to others. And they complained was terrible. They were threatening us with the structural funds, and it was terrible. And Macron talking to Pedro Sánchez. I am really upset with this guy. Okay. So this will be the general purpose with 35 petabytes. So we continue with the money we have, and the money is for buying the machine 151 million euros. Just buying Hopper is 0.3. I know the price 0.3 multiplied by that would be 500 petaflop Limpak. This machine will be number 1 now, but we decided not to do that. We decided to have a general purpose with the Sapphire Rapid. That would be the second fastest general purpose machine, because many applications are not prepared to use accelerator. The accelerator part is incredible, 150 is more than 100 times faster than the GPU-based management file we have. Okay, and we are going to have 2 in the line we have in the management for the future. Okay. It's incredible, very good machine. So these are the numbers. So we multiply by a lot the management for, and then we are going to have plenty of space. These takes incredible capacity of so as I say, it was prepared by Sergi, said, don't show that, but I thought now that they decide I can show public. And, yeah. So, I mean, and I repeat, this matching has been possible in part because the collaboration of Turkey, because to be tagged. So you are the owner, really. I mean, you will decide, I don't know, a huge percentage of the matching. So we need to see how we put things together. Okay. You can see part of the installation, the part of the machine will be here. We have anything ready. I mean, it's incredible. The infrastructure you need to build before the computer comes. My God. So because we need to buy, the European Union now realize officially that we need to design and to fabricate chips from IoT to high performance chips. This is a very difficult task. It's not easy, probably we will not achieve. But if you don't have dreams, you don't have reality. So I am very happy. So we need, because that, you know, this thing with the car and no sense, okay? No one, this is very well, oh, no one can do that, let's go together. Let's go together means 31 countries, 28, voting, and delaying anything. But this is the way we need to follow, together, really. The numbers in Europe are very bad. Okay, we need to change that. And they create the CHIP Act, okay? So 43 billion of euros devoted to the design of chips, chip design, and foundries, okay? And you can get the report, it's public, not just company. And I would like to emphasize that, okay? First time that this guy say that. Because until now, because the commissioner, Breton, because Atos, because Thin, they didn't like, I am in the RIAC, I was 4 years fighting this guy. This guy who was the president of the RIAC. Panciera, and it's incredible. They had the vote and they decided, no, we don't need to collaborate with external people. Why not? We need to collaborate with the very good. And now, the President of the European Union say that we need this collaboration. Okay, we need to develop chip, we convince them, and we need this international collaboration. We need another thing still to complete, okay? So, okay, so at BSc, we are doing research, so I will just let us know, let you know, local RISC-V ecosystem and the 3B, and I think after that I will finish with the high. So 3 years ago, we got the idea with the future will be open to create a virtual laboratory who is part of the BSc. It's called Laboratory for Open Computer Architecture. And why? Because we think, sincerely, we are, and people accept that, we are one of unique points in the supercomputer where we develop application, who is application, but we develop chip. We didn't develop chip until 3 years ago, but now we are developing chip. So we can have application, we have the co-design. I mean, there is a unique place to do that. Right? That would be open. LOCA is open, so it's a mechanism to potentiate the development of hardware and software, open hardware and software, to attract people, to have designers during few months teaching to the people, organizing workshops, visit, okay, it's open. You have, I will go quickly, but the idea is very simple. Okay, I have another one. So I propose this symbol is how the Catalan, I am not Catalan, but I have been 48 years in Catalonia, I love Catalonia, I love Barcelona. So they build these human towers, they call Casteller, castles, human castle. And the target is very, very simple. I would like to have the designer of the Power10. I have one of them. I would like to have the designer of the NVIDIA coming to Barcelona teaching. Professor, I mean, and in the middle of that, what I did is that to establish in Europe and Spain what we call ATACA, who is an association of, until now there are 12 Spanish universities sharing a design of RISC-V and software. I think it's a unique opportunity for the universities to collaborate on that. Okay, so we are developing chip. I never believed that we will develop a chip because all my life I was proposing ideas that some of them probably took. I know one of them who took Cray and designed the X1 based on one of our paper ideas, the decoupled vector architecture. But I never thought that. So this is what I have in mind. So we start the EPI, the European Processor Initiative. We had the MIP, you know very well. the e-processor, I think Osman will talk about that. The pilot, and I mean, we need to go step by step, first of all, but we need companies as IBM, Intel, AMD, to take our ideas, to collaborate with them, and to produce real chip. The university cannot produce chip, obviously competing with NVIDIA or this thing. So this is okay. So the API is one was finished. We produce a vector architecture, okay, with many partners. Okay, these partners, so it's horrible. This is a nightmare. Okay. Osman suffered more than me. And we did the tape out and it was working. This is European, and we continue now improving, no, with the PPUs that you are going to talk. The MIG, you know, the project is associated to the Mare Nostrum 5, and I see that as a laboratory. When you look the report, I am a computer architect, I say, oh, poor result, because I would like to have more result. But this is a lab where many people later could develop ideas, okay? So for me, the most important thing is a chip which is oriented to optimize sparse operation, okay? So they have a few concepts very difficult. I don't trust very much between you and me that you can do close to the memory computation because it's very difficult. We have different kinds. But I think the idea is good. The idea is good. And then you have here you have the part developed by Tubitak. When I saw that, I was very happy because I was the advisor, how many years ago? 30, 35 or 4 students doing systolic array processor. So I was a topic I learned, and then now when I saw Google with the tensor, the TPU, and then now I see. I think my prediction is that the vector architecture and the systolic array will conquer the HPC. Okay? So we need to put the different kind of data. You are talking about the TPU. So this is the idea. The bus is the compute unit, and they have vector architecture, scalar, plus 2 systolic array processors. One of them who comes from Croatia, the other one coming from I love the long vector architecture were my main topic when I was more active with the processor I passed because the pilot. You are working also in the pilot. You are developing the chip to take control of the temperature and to change. Okay, I am not going because I have no time. The pilot. So if you look, I am almost finishing. Okay? So if you look, what happened? You would like to be there. Okay, at the end. You would like to have a general purpose processor, accelerator, okay. And then we have now embedded IoT. We have general purpose processor, Cortex with the processor, and then we have accelerator, and we need to be there. Okay, this is one view of the movie. Okay, on the other side, this is our roadmap for BSc. Okay, we have the European processor, but these are internal design. This was we did the tape out in 18. You were there when, remember, with the minister. You were in Barcelona when the chip arrived, and they were the Lagarto and then Divino. We had the chips now, the Sagartana. So we are increasing the number of instructions per second. We are doing that, and we have Cinco Ranch. This is a very good idea. You know, Osman is the collaboration with Intel, where they will do the Encore, and then we do the Encore, and I am very happy about that. So, and then Osman and company are developing the Lagarto K, which is a two-way out-of-order, very high performance general purpose processor. This is the target, and we developed that with the BPU. We have, this is for the mechanic. Okay, so if there are many other chips where we are involved for real time for the European Space Agency, we see with the Francazorro displays. Okay, so this is the laboratory, just for you. This is our schedule for this thing that I would like that to be true, Osman, but you are not going to arrive. It's very difficult for us to find people who like to work with, and this is general. And the pandemic is even worse because people come where we were commenting yesterday everywhere. So it's very difficult, very difficult. So the Divino is also at BSc now. We need to tape out. Sargantana, we did a tape out also. These are the BSc chips without any external funding. By the way, it was done with the, I had two students, PhD students in Mexico. So we are working with them, and you have, I don't know how many Mexicans there, where somewhere in Barrio. Mexican guys. Ahorita, tomorrow I will finish tomorrow will never. So this is my dream, that this guy produce these chips. It's a very advanced chip. So coming back, I am almost finishing. Remember this part of the slide. So this is what happened in Japan. I would like that to happen here. Okay. I would like to use RISC-V. It's an accelerator like this because having the general purpose will be later, but developing an accelerator that could be connected to Intel or R, whatever, and to create the Mare 6. Okay, Mare 6. And 2027. And I would like to repeat what the Japanese did. They took the R, they optimized the R, they produced the chips, they put instruction, they changed the cache memory, okay, the interconnection network. This is the project I would like to start, and I think we will start before of this year. We will start this project in Barcelona. And then at the end, they have the full batteries. Okay, so in this direction, we are potentiating every day the idea of that Europe should build and not buy. Okay, because if you look at the general purpose processor, the accelerator should be RISC-V. The interconnection network now is Melanos, but my impression is they are going to be also open in the next thing. So the memory is everywhere. It's very difficult. There are 3 companies, as you know, that produce all the memory. So this is our idea for that. We are organizing June 13, July 1st. You are invited. So the idea is that we are going to have, from the application to the hardware, we are going to have BSc like science, engineering, juridic, automotive, HLRS, my friend, and climate. The European Center for Weather. Okay, so from application, just to see what they need, what kind of co-design we could do. Okay, so the second day, what that research and everything. I mean, it's a very good idea. We organize many summer school, and for example, we have now the one dealing with the NVIDIA. In 10 years, we have this NVIDIA summer school where we get 100 people around the world, students for free for them, and we teach 5 days. And they are coming, the guy who designed the GPUs, David Keller and Professor Wagner. So we are very animated about it. So what we like is just to change the way Europe works. And now at the political level, we would like to convince. And the slide I showed 2 days ago from the European Union are in this direction, that we need to start a flagship. As the Americans are doing since many years ago, the Japanese are doing the only way you cannot establish independent projects. They do not converge. You need a flagships. You need to see who should be the real partners to collaborate, not the 40 partners. And then to establish milestone, are going to that. And then the idea should be that we would like to, after 20, in fact, we could produce 25, 26, we could produce the first supercomputer, but the competitive one in 27, I would like to be BSC, but Lumi with the Vikings in the north, or Cineca with the Italian guys, okay? So I have here the one that is a possible implementation, okay? So what we think is that for the accelerator is easier, for the general purpose takes more time, okay, because we need the software. Okay, to build two-way out of 4 day, I have no doubt that Osman and the team will do that, but it's what the software will be to execute there. So this is our target. This is the way we see the future. We are very excited. We are very animated. 27, 20. So the last part is that we need people. As DuiDAC need people, as everywhere need people, and we need people from application to the physical design. Okay. So all these things on BSc. For local. And this is a slide I just during the last 5 years. Okay, with the Airbus or the Galileo, the GPS. I think if we put the associated money, resources, I don't have any doubt that Europe can produce very competitive chips from IoT to the supercomputer. So I am this line moving rocks, but this is my time. Okay, so I think I finished. This is the so I would like we have the Mare Nostrum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the chapter. So this is the Sagrada Familia. Okay? So I am in touch with the Cardinal to see if I can have space to do that. Don't smile, because the Cardinal is my real friend. I meet once per month. So it would be very good propaganda. And then I will ask you just Cardinal from €1 for any visitor. Yes, €1 for. This is not good for it. So thank you very much. Thank you. So please, questions. Come on, question. You.
I know from your HPC fundings, Barcelona's supercomputer center is very successful attracting funding to the center. So what's the secret for that?
The secret is to invite to have very good dinner to the office and to the validator. I think this is a question that you are right, okay? So we get one every 3. Mm-hmm. Why? And I would like to be modest, but almost everybody like BSc to be partner. Okay, because we start, we are things correctly. I think these guys are very good. Can ask Osman because they present many proposals. We have very good connections. But not just for that. I was very surprised that I had many slides that at the Spanish level, if you look at the Horizon 2020 finished, and you have the institution in Spain, this is the 3rd institution getting funding from process before any university and research center. We had #1 is the Consejo, who are 8,000 researchers, civil servants. And then the second one is a very big association in the Basque Country. They have 3,000 engineers. So I am surprised, but you need to be organized. For example, we have around, I would say, 15 or 20 project officers. We have the responsible for that. It's, I call him British, even he's from Scottish, he's Scottish. So very well organized, advancing things, knowing in advance what is going to happen. For example, now we need to compete for two important things in the EuroCC. Is the frame program agreement in software star and hardware star. So we are organizing the consortium. You cannot wait until the end and be in any consortium made by you. So I think really that we are quite organized. We have all the information from the Commission. Some of them is written by us because we are in the main, as many people is, but if you are in the group that write the work program, you know more or less in advance, and you can influence it. We put accelerate, and many things should be together.
So you said 1 out of 3 are your funded project is yours, but what is your rejection rate?
2 or 3.
2 or 3 out of?
I mean, every 3, 1 is accepted, 2 are rejected.
Okay. So you
so the money.
Proposals then.
Just you need to write many proposals. Many of them are killed. But let me tell you that in Horizon 2020, I remember the number. We bought 110 million euros in project. Not the Mare Nostrum we are getting. The Mare Nostrum is 222 in total. With the electricity, we got 111 from the European Commission or the consortium. 110 from project in the Horizon 2020 only. We have got from 05, I would say more than 350 million euros at BSC coming from companies, other European projects. I mean, we are surviving because we are very well connected with the society, with the companies. For example, we developed the software for Repsol. Repsol is the Spanish petrol company, and they were just buying petrol. So in 06, we developed using the cell processor, the one in the PlayStation 3. We developed RTM, reverse time migration. Is okay. So, and then we produce a software that allows them to find petroleum as good as any other. So that allowed them to get, and then we got many years, 2-3 million euros from them for research. The building, they gave us 6 million euros. Okay. We are Iberdrola, the wind farm. I mean, we like to do technology transfer because it's the only way we have to survive. I think this guy would like to do basic research, especially Osman Adrian, just to be aware. Oh, the topic to think today. No, they need to finish the project. No. More questions? No question. I came here and no question. I could have been in Barcelona. I thought that you were going to. Okay.
So there's a question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned a lot about the European sovereignty for doing this. So it might be a bit of abstract question, but how do you think we can reduce, or you can reduce it to the sovereignty of the individual? Because you say European sovereignty, but there might be a point in time where you say, oh no, I cannot trust Germany anymore. Or maybe, oh no, I cannot trust Spain government anymore. So I'm aware this
is not a technical question. This is not a technical question, no? The sovereignty, I mean, it's a word that I don't like. I would say that Europe should have access to the technology Europe needs to do the things that Europe would like to do. This is my definition. I mean, if we have not problem with processor, why we should produce processor? Nobody worried about the memory because there are many places where you can get memory. Okay, but after people as Trump I can tell you that things change in Europe, in this field. We say we need to be a little more autonomous or call whatever.
Thank you.
So we have another question from the participants. Betting on this 5 is a good call, however, with the whole open ecosystem. While the EU chip ecosystem is planned to diversify itself, power efficiency, pure power, and all open ecosystem which can drop replace some systems, competition will be fierce in space.
So this is a question or 100?
That's a question.
So one thing is open. Another thing you can customize in order to be different, in order to get money if you are a company. So this is the case for Red Hat and Linux. Linux is an open operating system, but IBM is getting out of money because of that. So this is one thing. The second thing, energy. Energy, there are many ingredients to reduce the energy. Okay, so we don't think that this fight would be, by definition, more energetic than any other. Probably you can do many things at the technology level, architectural level, programming level, reducing data movement. They have many ingredients to reduce the energy. Okay? But say that as we maintain the pipeline clean with not many additional instructions that waste space, we can do the same with a little less energy at the architectural level. But it's not a panacea to reduce energy. It's not a panacea for anything. It's a way where you don't need to depend on Intel, AMD, IBM, whatever. And this is a mechanism that allows people to collaborate, that allow you to develop chips where you will get for free software that could be executed in your chip. More questions?
Barcelona is a very impressive success story, but it can't be easy. What were the most challenging times and how did you overcome?
I mean, I think, yes, ask my wife. So, I mean, I think it was very important to convince the Minister 84 to start this Center on Parallel Computer, okay? By the way, this is my friend. I was not forced to use the following sentence. Joan is the name. Remember that your daughter is my student. No. He gave me the 10 million of pesetas is nothing. 60,000 euros. You know, 84. Okay? So I studied in the university. The university is very difficult. I don't know in Turkey, but there is the normal situation in Spain. You have the civil servant with 3 or 4 slaves, the full professor. I got in 83, very young, when I was 30. So having a slave, I said, do that. Okay. So trying to convince a huge group to join was not easy. But as I was in the department, I was the only professor. I was convincing slowly Jesus, Edu. Okay, so creating this group was not easy. I had serious problem when I need to change the computer. When you are at the university asking for, I mean, I don't know, the convex I have, the cost was $1 million in 91. So how I can get 1 million euros belonging to a university where there are many groups in the university? It was very difficult. It was very good. It was very difficult that Catalonia, the president, create another center. It was a disaster, competing. Good things that IBM was interested for us in 2000. So we create, I have 35 people working with IBM, going to the Watson and coming back. And that allow us to define the Marenstrom one. So we convinced the same partners to install the Marenstrom. That when we changed, it was a different because we were very visible, and then 30 people at the beginning, now 810. So there are many, many days where I thought this finished. It was not easy. How you go from one office in a university to, because this was not created from top to down. It was created from down to top, and it's better, but more difficult. Yes.
Thank you, first of all, for my
You're
presentation.
welcome.
So how is the usage in terms of, or by the industry, universities? Is it
Okay.
for performance?
Okay, so we have every hour we have between 3 and 4 requests. So there is for Spain and for Europe, there is a committee evaluating the proposal, and they decided who is going to get free access to the machine. Okay, this is one thing. The second thing for the companies, we are not allowed the companies to use the machine because that would be dumping. We could give. Okay, so what we do is developing with them many good projects, and when the software is ready, they take the software and bring the software to
They have their own systems, but
yeah, for example,
they can.
yes, yeah, for example, so bought and installed in the state a machine who was almost twice faster than the Marstrom one, just to run one program, the one we developed continuously, just evaluating the waves and then to reconstruct 3D how they see the Gulf of Mexico. You have 2 or 3 kilometers of water, you go to it, and then you go 1 kilometer, and then you have soil between 1 and 2 kilometers, and the oil, the gas is behind this soil. So how you decide where to drill? Let me tell you that they pass from 1 every 10 to 1 every 8. Every trial is 100 million euros. So no. So, but we don't provide with access to the company. Now, we don't know because 40% of the time of the machine is for the joint undertaking. So we don't know if they will allow it. It's a nightmare. Anything that touch browsers, stop working. Tell me.
You mentioned the technology roadmap and set a vision for a RISC-V.
I mentioned, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't take the first part of the question.
Okay. You mentioned the technology roadmap in which there is a RISC-V powered HPC system set for 2027, the Mariner 6.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you use any systematic approach to overcome technical and managerial problems, such as getting together diverse groups and building a consensus with the diverse groups, like overcome managerial problems, especially, particularly?
If I understood your question, listen, this is the dream. So now we need to start. And we have some experience with API, but we need, before the end of the year, we need to discuss at the very high level, computer architect, what kind of architecture we decide to implement. Because when you decide that, you need 3 years, and then you can do small things, okay? But this is a part, a chip is a part of the system. Okay, a chip is a part of the system, you need memory. And then you need mainly software. So you need to establish, you need to decide the application that you are going to take in order to optimize. Okay? So this is a hardware software co-design where many people need to work, probably, let me tell you, 300 people just in this project, just working for that. So the most critical point for me is the architecture, what the architecture will be. I have in mind personally that should be vector plus historic. This is what I think, but if one say, no, listen, we need to do the other guy. But at the end, before the end of the year, we need to have a very clear idea of the architecture. Because if not, we don't move. And this is a very risky because if we fail, we fail. As Intel failed with many chips, as IBM, we had just one good, bala, one bala, one
Bullet.
bullet, bullet. Yes.
We have these 4 research groups, let's say engineering, science.
Department, yes, department. Yeah.
So you have people working in the engineering area, for example.
Yes.
Are they developing software?
Yes, a huge software. They have, for many things, they develop, for example, the Repsol, but they have a multi-physics program with a plenty of lines, which is called ALIA.
Yeah.
And then, well, yes, it's free. I mean, anything we have is free.
So,
Well, free after we produce. We need money to produce it. Yeah, so the ALIA, for example, has been used. We did a simulation of the heart, of the respiration. So depending on the application, it's multi-physics. But we are developing a software for the ITER, for the fusion. I mean, these guys for the reactor, for the planes, I mean, for the cars. They are developing many.
so how do people can work with those groups? Is it easy to collaborate or?
I think so.
Yeah.
There are, if you like, I mean, there are many different things, okay? So collaboration means resources. And resources can be human. We don't need money, you don't need money. So the question is that if they are working in a project that you would like to collaborate, it's okay. But if you need money, you need to ask to see if they have money to pay you, okay? Because all the people we have in Barcelona are almost paid by us.
Yeah.
No, but you can work from here. If you are interested in one, I think we need to talk about the collaboration.
We might be doing similar things, so maybe we can work together. Yeah.
We were talking about.
Yeah.
But let me tell you that we have 2 lemmas at BSc. One of them is the research should be excellent, but mainly relevant. I mean, the target for a research is not to write a paper for Nature, say. Is to create some drug that cure the guy, okay? So this is very important. Even more, if I need to choose one thing, I would say better relevant than excellent. And if you look many of the things that conquer the world now in our topics, they have not been published. They have been patented, but not published, okay? The second one, as important as the one, collaborate. It's our life. You will see any people you contact at BSc. If you have some in common, they will be very open mind. If that do not happen, it will be difficult because this guy is 24 hours a day working in the project. So if somebody goes, oh man, I would like to do something related with cloud. Oh, cloud. Oh, cloud. No. But it's very easy.
For example, there might be some collaboration, selected topics from groups. Maybe a group from here can visit there and learn and teach to each other and come back.
So what we did
from here.
Yeah. So in this direction, what we did with Argon, we started 4 months ago, and we have Zoom where the Argon present us the main topics. Another session when we present to them our topics. And then 5 big guys from Argon, they spend 1 week with us. After we had the previous, just to, and now, after that, there are 3 or 4 groups that will continue. And my duty is to get funding because in this collaboration, who is going to put the money? Because the collaboration needs money. So I am trying to get money from that.
Of course, we need to come together.
You need to agree the topic. If you agree in the research topic, things are easier. If you don't agree, it's very difficult. Because you are very busy and very busy. More questions? More? You would like to make another question?
Maybe I can continue my question then, because now according to your something more.
Yes.
So this you answer me, okay. So, but when I hear the word sovereignty, what I think is that to be a possibility of sovereignty, the ownership should be in the hands of the smallest group possible. So, but I think Europe might be a bit, because it's like, okay, Europe has something that allows itself to produce its own products, right? But I think it's too big, because eventually you might not trust the Euro.
Europe, yeah, so, no, Europe, it doesn't exist. Europe, who is Europe? It's the companies, research group who own the IP, as everywhere in the world, okay? I mean, the IP, the work that Tubitak is doing in MIP belongs to Tubitak. If Tubitak try to sell that and he's successful, he will get money. So, but we did in collaboration, okay? So, I mean, Europe doesn't exist. There are the companies, and so for me, when I say international collaboration, I say in some of the topics, international collaboration means that the IP should be mainly belonging to Europe. It doesn't mean that if Intel comes, he cannot get 49% of the IP and then to use this IP in Europe and worldwide. So for Intel is good and for Europe is good. What you are asking me is the normal situation worldwide where the nation doesn't exist. Are the companies and the researchers and the people who have the IPs, intellectual property. One question. So it's too late, no? Oh, you are going to kill me. Thank you.